In-laws interference is the big challenge for modern marriages. And in India, one of the top reasons for divorces is in-laws interference. So, what is
Right.
your take on this, Sucheta?
No, absolutely, absolutely. We come from a culture where parents are integral part of our lives. So in-laws interference have been an issue. We are seeing the number of cases on that, and that says volumes.
So, how can a couple deal with the in-laws interference?
So see, first thing that we need to understand is when a woman is coming to a man's house, it is the man's house. So you will very rarely, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but you will very rarely hear that girl's parents' interference is breaking the marriage. Most of the time, it is the boy's parents. Now, so because it is boy's parents, the man has to take a stand to create space for his wife. If he does not create space for his wife, then the initial few months to first year of marriage, the woman gets so bitter about her in-laws that for rest of their life the man will always be dealing with this issue between parents and wife. So a man has to take a stand and say that she is the new member in the family. I am standing by my wife, and let's not point out fingers at her. Let us give her space to settle down.
Why can't some men set limits with their parents?
See, it's a very Indian culture thing. Right from our childhood, we are taught not to speak against our parents, not to raise voice, not to argue, not to even voice your thoughts. There are many families, a kid speaking their mind in front of parents is ruled out. It's considered disrespect. So we are so tuned to it right from childhood कि parents के against बात ही नहीं करनी. So there are times parents, when you are a grown-up adult, your views can be different. It doesn't mean you're disrespecting. So they are so auto-tuned to it that they cannot speak against their parents.
How can a wife talk about in-laws issues?
So first thing that the woman have to understand is that don't burn your marriage for in-laws. You got married to the man. So first 1 year, 2 year, build your relationship with the man. And I know there will be in-laws issues or maybe a new house issues or the new lifestyle, new way of eating, living. Everything is very different. But in the process, you have to first prioritize your marriage, your relationship with your man. And when you and your man have a very strong connect, very strong understanding, then there are high chances when you say something, he will understand your perspective. But most of the time, women get into a mode of complaining, cribbing, ranting, right? As if your husband can fix his parents. You need to understand they are also grown up adults, like they will be at least in their late 50s or 60s. And, even if your husband wants, they can't fix them. So you need to be a team. So first build that team. When you and your husband are together and you are one team, you can handle anything on earth. But so stop cribbing and be in his team. Try to understand what he is also going through because it is his parents, right? And today suddenly somebody tells me, go and tell your parents like, they have to back off, they have to stop intervening. It's so difficult conversation to have because we are in a culture where we love our parents, we respect our parents, we are so much known for or validated for treating parents a certain way. So being strong in front of parents becomes very difficult. So be in his team, be his buddy, become friends, become such a strong relationship, build such a strong relationship with your husband that he starts understanding your pain. And then when you say something without cribbing, but more from this is bothering me rather than you and your parents are intentionally hurting. So the language has to be altered, and then you will see he's listening differently.
Hmm. Why man feels stuck between wife and parents?
Well, isn't it very normal? I would say the benefit of doubt, because if today suddenly a woman also have to choose between her husband and her parents, it is going to be a tough decision because both relations are equally important for us. Same way, the man has grown up 30, 35 years with his parents, so he feels obligated because of the respect he has been giving for years together to his parents, that he has to treat his parents a certain way. And then his wife comes and he loves his wife and he wants to be with her, but he doesn't know how to strike a balance. He feels, okay, why there is a fight, why can't they all be in one team? So that's the struggle that men go through. But what people fail to understand, number one, men, you need to understand, once you get married, you are the one for whom your wife is coming to the family. She doesn't, the only person she can rely on, the only person she can pour her heart out to, the only person she can trust and share all her pains and traumas and when she's feeling uncomfortable is you. And if you start getting defensive about your parents or about yourself, then where will she go? And if she goes to her best friend, her parents, or her sister, then you will not like it. So open doors for her to share anything, like crib, complain, cry, because she's just sharing with you. And you don't, just listening to her doesn't mean you have to do something. So this is one thing that people refrain from. "Ki, don't share with me all this," because they feel that if they listen, they will have to do something. Now, listening to somebody doesn't mean you have to do something about it. You listen and validate her feelings, try to understand her feelings. Then you and your wife can be in one team and sit together and discuss, okay, this is the challenge we are facing. How can we fix this? Most of the time, it becomes about your parents and my parents. So when you expect your wife to treat your parents like her own parents, then let her crib about your parents like the way she will sometimes crib about her own parents. It cannot be only good thing, right? You have to include her as a family member who has the right to crib as well as serve them, and then be in one team to deal with the issue.
How can man take stand for his wife and still respect parents?
Well, I first want to put that question to you because I know you have been living in a joint family very, very happily and successfully for a very long time. So, what do you think your man or your in laws are doing different that you never feel any in laws interference as a challenge?
Okay. So I believe, Sucheta, with my man, I totally agree. He always says that either be a man, like be a husband of your wife, or either
Mhm.
be a husband, husband of your wife, and either be a, son of your parents. Okay.
Mm,
And if you really can't do anything, then be both. You
okay.
have to manage and balance. So
Hmm.
that is something one. And the other thing is when it comes to my in-laws, they're being very respectful of our privacy. So they give
Wow.
us a lot of space. They understand
Wow.
that, okay, this is their new life. They have to take their decision by their own. So I have never seen my in laws even getting between our fights, between our any sort of discussions. And every time they always prefer that, okay, you both are two adults and you both can take up your own decisions. We have lived our life. You please still live yours. So I think
Awesome.
that's the
Really
key.
awesome. Yeah, yeah. Hats off to your in laws and your husband, too. So, very rightly said. So, I believe number one, um, in laws, you need to understand when you're getting your son married, he's a marriageable age. He's no more your kiddo, baby, whom you need to protect, you need to take care of, or you need to really handle. It is somebody who is a grown up adult. So please let him be, set him free. Make sure he understands his responsibility. Let him fumble, let him fall, let him figure out, but let him do all of that with his wife. The more you set your son and daughter in law free to figure out their relationship, you will be ensuring your kids are having a great married life. Second is, as a son, I think first men need to understand I am the reason this woman has come to this house. So I need to take a stand, and I need to see if anywhere she is feeling uncomfortable, she is feeling pointed out. I need to take a stand and create space for her. Because isn't that very normal? Two people who have grown up in two different kind of houses, two different kind of environment, two different kind of set of parents, schooling, everything different. Is suddenly today that woman comes and you expect her to change everything about her life according to your house? It's not going to happen. Differences are bound to be there. Now, when you create space for her, it becomes easy for her to accept the family. And the more men try to balance, balance as in, I want to keep mom also happy, I want to keep wife also happy. And those are the men are having high blood pressure and neither mom is happy nor wife is happy. But if the first 2 years you take an unconditional stand for your wife, you will see slowly your wife and your mom will build a relationship over a period of time. And then for rest of your life becomes easy. According to you, what can a man do to support his wife after marriage?
Okay. So after marriage, I would say if they have to support their wife, the only thing is that first what they want her to do, first they should also do it with her. Like for an
Yeah,
example, like in a way we try that okay हमको कार चलानी सीखनी है बट कार चलाने के लिए भी आप पहले साथ बैठते हो ताकि आप उसको वो realm दे पाओ that how does that feels and same
right,
goes with the marriage as well that if you really want your daughter-in-law to work in a certain way then tell your son as well and the son also has to do it like for example it's very simple first kitchen right but I've seen a lot of men's जब भी first kitchen होता है and the women has to cook, they sit on the dining table and
yes,
waiting for the food to come. But
yes,
either you can definitely go to the kitchen and help her. And at least if you don't know how to make it, at least you can stand with her. So one
right.
thing is this. And second thing is that it's not like that every fight will end up to divorce every fight will end up into like that okay isse better to kuch hoga hi nahi the only thing is sometimes they don't have to take anybody's side that is also works well like for an example mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law is talking something but most of the time men get into between they either don't support daughter-in-law but also on the other hand they start speaking with the mother-in-law that
Mm,
she said
mm.
this you were supposed to do this you didn't do that that is something he's not supposed to do
So they get
maybe
very defensive about their parents and
correct
their family. Now they fail to understand now she is also my family. This
right
is where is the gap coming. You're right,
right
absolutely right.
and on the other hand if they expect their wife to do something for the in-laws
Hmm,
he also has to take up the responsibility of her family
absolutely. Yeah.
and I have seen so many men if they start taking care of the taking care of her parents he has already won 20% of the race
Yes, and
because
then in return, like she feels so obligated to take care of his side of family.
correct
It just comes
correct
very naturally as a reciprocation of that feeling because oh he's being so nice to my parents, he's taking care of my parents, so I also want to do something for him. So absolutely valid points.
and on the other hand I also feel that it is very important to give time to the wife most of the time husbands what they do they come from the work they directly go to their mom's room because this is how they are conditioned throughout their
Till
lives
the
but
marriage, yes,
yes
yes,
till the marriage and they directly go and then they really forget that there is one more other person waiting in the second room for them
right.
so I would say that they should just, it's not like they should not go and greet their mother, but at least divide that time wisely.
Well,
Just
I
don't
would
sit.
say I absolutely agree with your point, and that is where what I tell my clients is see, you already had 30-35 years of relationship with your mom and dad. So if in 30-35 years of relationship, they will not understand that now you have a wife and this is a 1 day relationship and that needs focus, that needs attention, then who will? So you have a 30-35 years of relationship. Now you're building relationship with your wife for next 35 years. So if you don't make your wife a priority in the first 2 3 years, then you are failing to build a very strong connect and relationship with her, and that has a long term repercussions.
Definitely. And also, the initial phase really works so well. I always give this
Yeah.
example to my clients as well. Like, for an example, you have a 10-liter bottle, okay? And in
Right.
that 10-liter water bottle, 2 liters is a very dirty water, which you put it on the base. And
Hmm.
8 liters of, you put a sparkling water into it.
Huh.
Then no matter what, even if that 2-liter water is there, you just cannot make that water drinkable. And it
Exactly.
happens with the relationship as well, that if
Relationship
the
also.
base is gone, if the initial years are not gone, no matter what, it will take you ages to make it up.
Yes. And also, is that initial years where you need to spend a lot of time with each other, even for the love marriages. Now, many times people say, oh, you they love a marriage, they know each other. No, but living together 24 cross 7 with somebody is a very different ballgame. So when you get married, you need to spend time with your spouse daily, and that has to be a priority. Priority number one, like after work and after everything, if I have no time, if I have only half an hour, then that half an hour goes to my spouse. After that, then comes my parents. And after that comes with my workout or my hobbies or something like that. So initial couple of years, you need to prioritize so that the more time you spend, you understand each other, you understand your emotions. And then the whole physical intimacy, emotional intimacy, it takes time to build. It takes time to do things for each other. You need energy, effort, and all of those small little gestures that you do towards your partner builds the strong relationship. And the moment you have a very strong relationship, at least I can vouch for women, again 90% of them, that if a man is taking care of her, if he's taking making her the number priority, if he is really spending time and expressing love to her, she will make sure what is important to the man, she will take care of that. So you don't have to struggle for, oh, my parents are important, but she's not. No, you don't have to be defensive about your parents. You and your parents are one team. You already know each other. You already have, you fight with your parents, next 15 minutes, they'll all be normal. But if your mother says something to your wife, it's going to be for lifelong. If your wife says something to your parents, oh, it's going to go to next genam also. So it's important that if somebody have to speak up, then you speak up, not your wife. And when you take that unabashed stand for your wife continuously, slowly it will register for your parents also. Now my son is married and he is going to treat his wife first. And also, when you speak up, your wife has a way more scope and space to build relationship with in-laws because the difficult conversations you're taking on your head. So very valid points. Anything else that you feel that today's couples, especially the younger generation, where there's so much independence, so much education, both are working, what can the younger generation do to deal with in-laws interference?
One thing they can really do is have their couple time as well. It is very important,
Right.
like we rightly discussed. But most of the time, it happens to the women end as well, that every day once the men comes, she starts cribbing from that very
Yes,
moment.
yes, yes.
Okay. So the only thing is that she also has to understand his space of understanding, whether he is
Right,
also in that space to listen it or not.
right,
And if you really want him to be your listening ear, first also you have to see that are you also a listening ear for him? Are you even
yes,
asking him about his day, whether he
right,
had food or not? And then start with your things. And I've seen a lot of men enters the moment they ring the bell, they start, and they open the gate with, this happened, your mother did, and all
yeah,
sort of things.
yeah,
So that is also one thing which has to be considered.
right. So modern
Okay.
day couple, I feel for the modern day couples, see now kids are raised very differently. When I speak to my mom, I ask her, how do you have patience to, you know, make sure you take care of kitchen for so many years. It's like 50 years, 60 years, you're taking care of kitchen. How do you handle that? So she says, when we were growing up, either mom, grandmom, masi, auntie, jo bhi, everybody will tell, this is my role for rest of my life. So she's mentally so tuned that once I get married, my life is about serving the husband and the kids and the in-laws. But today's generation, if you see, men and women are brought up the same way. So it's very critical by the time kids are 21, 22, send them out of the house. They should start living on their own. Every man and woman should have lived on their own for good few years where they managed everything, paying all bills, to managing kitchen, to managing cook and maids, and really living on their own before they get married, so that once they get married they are ready what it takes to run a house. Most of the people who come directly from their parents' house and get married have major challenges in the marriage, because they expect the way my mom was treating me, now my mother-in-law will treat me the same way.
Correct.
The way my house, I used to get up, get ready, have breakfast, go to office, come back, and then again have dinner and then watch TV or watch reels and then just chill and sleep. Now, after marriage, also things will go like that. But you are getting married, and it's for men and women both. You are getting married, you need to go to office, you need to eat breakfast, you need to have dinner, you need to keep your house clean. It's your house, and you need to learn how to deal with this whole cycle of life. And this practice, whenever you first time put into this, it's going to be troublesome. So parents should ensure that the moment kids are 21, 22, and they are earning their own money, please ask them to stay in a separate house and manage their life. And once they are at least 2, 3 years manage their life on their own, did everything on their own, fumble, struggle, fell, frustrated, again pick up, again, once they learn that, then get them married. Then modern day couples will have a better understanding of what it takes to get married. Also, modern day couples should live separate
And also,
because,
I would say one thing also which really impacts the marriage is, and it's been a part of my marriage as well. So the different parenting styles you have been coming from.
yes,
For
yes,
an example, I'll take my example. My father never asked me where I am and
uh-huh,
when I'll be back home.
yeah,
And he was busy into his work. The only thing he used to do just give me a cash to do all sort of things, right?
okay,
But when I got married, his father used to ask each and everything. Where are you going? How much time it will take? And do you need anything? And he used to take all sort of information. But in the starting, I felt like, no, why there is so much information I have to give? Why there is so
yes,
much explanation I have to give?
yes, yes,
And that is the problem which happens. We tend to see the other parent as from the same lens, that okay, they will
yes,
be also the same parents.
right.
And that also creates a problem, that okay, my father never asked me, why your father is asking me now?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah,
So that is
absolutely.
the main
Yeah.
concern.
So it's just starting with that basic understanding and care that we are coming from two different worlds, and it's going to take at least a year or two to understand each other, understand each other's families, and settle down. Is definitely going to take effort from both sides, but I very strongly believe that when there is an interference from a boy's parents' house, the boy have to take a very strong stand like a man in the house and say that she's my wife, her pain is my pain, her sorrow is my sorrow, her tears are my tears. So please don't bother my wife. She doesn't know cooking, I will handle it. She doesn't know something, I'll handle it. She doesn't have to know everything. She doesn't have to be like you guys. She is my wife. I like her the way she is. And the strongly he says it, the wife will do everything under the sun to make sure her man is proud of her. So it's a lot of acceptance, lot of stand, so that you don't let her go through the storm in first 2 years, and then you see your marriage will always flourish. And parents have to let go of their son. Now he's married. Please set him free. He's an adult. He should live his life with his wife, not with you guys. Okay, so Raja Betas have to become now Raja husbands.
Mm.
Thank you, Kanchan. It
Makes
was an
sense.
interesting conversation, and we'll bring forth more such conversation. Stay tuned and keep asking if you have any other topic you want us to speak about. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sujata.